Hey everyone, welcome back to the Keep Watching podcast, where we decide what to watch so you don't have to. I'm Sarah.
And I'm James.
And today we're going to be talking about The Zone Survival Mission, Season 3, Episode 1. Did I get that right? I think I did. James, how's it going?
Oh no, I'm really nervous, Sarah.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, the pandemic's over, but we got a bigger problem on our hands.
And that problem would be?
All this AI stuff people are talking about.
That's true. Very spooky.
Yeah, but thankfully, this show has set me straight.
That's true.
I now know the pros and cons.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Everything
We're
about
learning this
AI.
week. Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
Is this what you thought when you were like, let's watch the show? Is this where you thought it would be?
No, it's not. I did not think that so much of this. I did not think was going to be what it was, but here we are.
Yeah,
I did not think I guess they've just been learning a lesson every episode about dangers in the world or something.
You think every episode of the show they like learn a moral of the story?
That might be true. Yeah.
I thought it was just like this one episode. Okay. Let me just set up what this show. Well, let me give the Hulu breakdown of the show.
Okay.
We'll come back to comments from last episode in a second. Maybe we shouldn't, actually. Hulu says the world is consumed in a pandemic. New rules are established. In a disaster-simulated virtual space called the Zone, mankind is being tested. Contestants are sent into the Zone with the great mission and responsibility of representing all of mankind. They must survive 4 hours in the unknown, filled with unexpected situations, traps, and temptations. So it's always 4 hours. So this is it's a Korean show.
Yes.
Started in 2022. I thought this was they're like, it's a show. Is it a show they made during the pandemic?
Probably
and then it didn't air until I'm a little.
I think it's probably something they made once things started opening up a little bit, when they could get together and film again, but still, quote unquote, in the pandemic,
Yeah, but the pandemic was in like the first 2 seasons of the show, but now the pandemic is over, right?
Yes, and AI told us so.
Yeah, and AI, but the AI was in the other seasons.
Yes, this is version 3 of the AI.
Oh yeah, it's version 3.0 of the AI.
Mm-hmm.
It's all very weird because in the current Big Brother season that I'm watching, the theme of the season is also AI. So it's just
a relevant thing these days.
I guess it's just like the hot thing to talk about. But on this show, they actually do use AI to simulate this one guy's voice and other things. In Big Brother, it's just fake AI. It's not real AI. Yeah, so it's a lot. It's similar to, what was the other show we watched?
Agents of Mystery.
Agents of Mystery, yeah. But a more low budget version of that, or worse production. I don't know. How do you feel? Which one was better? Just say right now which one was better.
Yeah, I like Agents of Mystery better. This was kind of chaotic in a way I did anticipate. But I saw the preview for the next episode, and I'm like, I'll probably watch that. So,
Okay. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that one we're going to be learning about home ownership and ridiculously priced mortgages.
Is that what it is? I saw the thing with the house being destroyed. Oh, okay. Maybe I need to learn these lessons. I need to watch all these episodes. Okay. Yeah, because they're going to be they have to go into this quote unquote virtual space for 4 hours. But is it literally just don't die? Don't get caught or what?
Don't
it took me
fail.
so long to even I was like, wait, what is the goal of what they're doing? It was crazy.
Yeah, it was. I really just coming into this thought, there's gonna be some obstacles. They're gonna have a quote unquote mission, but it's gonna be kind of, I don't know, laid back and not so the more territory. But I don't know. It was an interesting ride.
Yeah, they kept saying simulated virtual space, and I was like, they show you flash forwards of what's gonna happen in the season. I was like, are they gonna be doing things in a physical space, but then we're gonna see CGI'd a comet comes and hits their house or something, but they're just gonna throw a big ball into the house, or
but the preview looked just you saw the big ball. So I don't know.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. because they have like some CGI'd building, or is that like a real building? That like
I think they
tall
keep putting
skyscraper?
like CGI-esque stuff over real stuff to be like, oh look,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
not real, but it is, you know?
Okay. Okay. That's kind of the vibe I got. Yeah. Let's just jump into this. Like, let
Yeah,
this
we
thing
kind of
spread.
already have, yeah.
Yeah, this is actually kind of nuts. Okay. Yes, this is season 3, episode 1. I don't think you need to watch the first 2 seasons of this.
I mean, I certainly didn't.
I think we got the idea. I don't think there's like they kind of had references to the old season, but I don't think we really missed anything.
Yeah. I mean, unless there is some sort of narrative that makes sense, because they're like, yes, I forget what they call their team or whatever, but they're like, yes, you saved humanity before. I'm like, I don't know that that's what happened in this episode, but okay.
Well, they didn't do it in this episode. Okay,
Oh,
wait.
that's true.
Yeah, so this first each episode is like a different zone. So this is the first zone of season 3,
Hmm.
which is Junpyeon, which is a
Well,
city in
yeah,
South
that's a
Korea.
city. Yeah,
That's
where
what
it
they said. They
is.
said its first zone was
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they did.
um okay, so we get there's only 4 contestants on this show,
Hmm.
and we get to meet the first 2, which are Jae-sok and Yuri, who both quote unquote survived season 2.
Right.
But and then they give this AI 3.0, which is like
Hmm.
a turned sideways hourglass in some sort of fish tank.
It
Like
looked like a little hammer, like a little Thor's hammer to
oh, is
me.
that what it was? Okay,
I don't know if it was, but that's how I thought of it.
whatever. It's this little glass
There's a little
cage
podium
with
thing that talks to
yeah,
them. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah. The AI was like explaining like, oh, you guys are still made it to season 3 because you got a passing grade. So Jason got a C-
Yes,
in
and
season 2.
they highlighted that he was very easily frightened last season, but still had his best manners when it came to ghosts and zombies. So I
So
don't know what that
got
means,
him
but
that got him
yeah.
a C minus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but that's a passing grade.
Yes.
So other people did worse. The other 2 people did worse than that, apparently. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I want to see the
And,
breakdown of why they got a fail grade.
well, they did do a little banter where it sounds like one of them just had another show to do, so we'll
Well,
just
yeah, but
say he got a
that's what it
failing
really is.
grade.
But I want to hear the lore of why they got a failing
Yeah.
grade. And then Yuri got an A.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess she's like the star of this team.
But she almost got an A plus, but she got points deducted because she had these outbursts of whenever she was angry.
Okay. All right. So that's a very weird of justifying, like, oh, 2 of the people from last season
Yeah, sure.
have not been recast on the show. We're just gonna say they failed.
They're just not good enough. Yep.
Okay. All right. So now we're still talking to this AI 3.0.
And he's like, well, you need help to save humanity or whatever. So I'm gonna add 2 more people. One of them is Kim Dong-hyun from, we've seen him on Physical 100. I think it was season 2 is what he was on.
Yep. Season 2.
He used to be a UFC guy, and now he's a random TV guy.
Big strong
Pretty
man.
much.
Big strong
Yeah.
man. Dong Hyun.
And I like that he rolls up and he's like, I'm very strong, but I have brains as well. And then cut to this show just being like, here's a preview of all the times he's super dumb on this show. Enjoy. And I'm like, way to do him dirty, show.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this show. Yeah, this show definitely compared to Agents of Mystery, this show did people so dirty.
Yeah.
Agents of Mystery was like they all got like the show gave them a title. They didn't give themselves
Mhm.
their own title, but the title like gave away what they were gonna be useful at in the actual
Right.
rest of the TV show. Whereas this is like, oh no, this guy rolled in, said he was gonna be smart, and then now we're gonna bury him every time he's dumb. We're gonna show it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And then who's our fourth contestant here?
It is Dex, who I forget his real name, which is what we knew him by on Singles Inferno season 2.
Jin Young.
There you go.
You're gonna call him Dex this whole time?
That's what he goes by now.
They did call him Dex a lot, yeah. But they did say Jin Young at some point. I don't think he like legally changed his name. It's probably like his
No, but it's like
YouTube.
his stage. Like it was his YouTube name before he even went on Singles Inferno 2.
Okay.
I guess just as a contestant of that show, they're like, no, you have to be a real human. You can't use your stage name.
Has nobody ever had a stage name on Singles Inferno?
I don't think so.
I can't think of any. Yeah.
Because that ruins the illusion that they're all actually there to find love and not just to advance their internet TV career or whatever, you
I
know?
guess so. Yeah. I guess that's true. Yeah. Well, he's Jin Young to me, but okay, we can say that. I don't know
Well,
him from anything else.
to the show, he is, quote, one of the hottest stars. Just blanket statement, not of anything in particular. They're just like, this one's hot. It's like, okay.
Well, he was literally a game changer on season 2 of Singles Inferno, and then he came back and hosted season 3 of Singles Inferno, and now he's on this show. Who, I mean, we don't even know what else he's been doing. Probably
It's true.
tons of stuff. But for people that don't remember, he's the military guy with the bullet tattoos. That's how. That's the way
Yes, that's how we talked about it.
That's the way I remember Jin Young from season 2.
I also remember he made dumb mistakes and didn't pick our favorite girl, Nadine. Is the other way I remember him.
He didn't pick Nadine. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was that a thing that might have happened, or were you just saying that? I remember not really being a huge fan of Jin Young.
Yeah,
show,
but she was
then...
trying to make something start with him, and he was like, maybe
okay.
not, but ended up picking somebody else.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember not really liking him as a contestant on the show, but then I thought he was like the best host when they added him as the 5th host in season 3.
Yeah, he was a
like,
good host.
He was like the best host. Yeah. Okay, Sarah, who's hotter, Jin Young, aka Dex, or Dong Hyung?
I don't feel like either of them are my type at all.
Okay.
I'm not into the bullet tattoos, and I
can't
not
answer the question. Good job.
I cannot do the boxer ears. They scare me a little bit. You know what I mean?
Did he have Did he have bad cauliflower ears?
Not like the worst I've ever seen, but not great either.
I didn't know.
Also, I don't really like muscly dudes. I don't know. They're just not my vibe, either of them.
Okay, so don't answer the question. That's fine. I'll say Dong Hyung.
Okay.
But the show is really going to highlight how attractive Jin Young is.
Yes, there's a lot of, I don't know how much of it is actually coming from Yuri, but her, like, the joke is she likes to watch him do things.
The joke is Jin Young is around a woman, and that woman must like him.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty much his whole gag, right? Okay.
But for his preview, I think somebody asked him if he's scared of ghosts, and he's like, no, not at all. And then they cut to him just kind of screaming at scary stuff and then acting kind of silly. So
there's no ghosts in this, but was it clips from this, or you think it was future episodes? Probably
it was future episodes of just not necessarily ghosts, but just startling things happening and then him being startled. So
yeah, they're not here to. If you say something confidently, they're looking for times where you did not meet an expectation you
absolutely.
Because Yuri comes in, I don't think she was cocky about anything, and the show's just like, yep, you got an A last season, and we're not going to bury you for anything. I don't think anything happened to her. Yeah. Do you know who Jasock is?
I've seen him as a host of a lot. Like, he's a comedian and like he hosts a lot of things.
Oh, okay. He seemed like a pretty big deal. Has he been on every season of the show?
I think he has. Okay.
Yeah. All right, we need some more AI explanation though. I think I started out being like, okay, the lore of the show is going to be so important, and then and then I they kind of lost me.
Yep.
Yeah. So now we are in the new normal 2.0. That's like post-pandemic. That's what that means.
Yeah.
We're in the new normal.
Yeah, I wrote down like this AI is sure talking about the pandemic a lot. It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. So they're sent to virtual spaces, but it's not VR. It's real spaces that are pretending to be virtual.
Yeah. I mean, they're just sets, like they built some sets and they're sending these people to them and then putting some CGI elements over top of them.
Like they're going to go into this like giant warehouse or whatever. But like the idea is that they are like entering a simulation, right?
Yeah.
But obviously it's not a real simulation. It's actual like people running around in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I think I get it. And then and pretty much it's just like 4 hours on the clock and go, right? It's like,
yep. They have to enter this AI zone is what they call it at this point. And they're just like, yep, Jasock's gonna love this zone. It's gonna be his favorite thing. It's pretty much all the clues they get to what they're walking into.
Yeah, so they get to this giant building. I guess the clock hasn't actually started yet. And then does Jasock just happen to put his hand on there first? Like,
I think so. Yeah.
Was there a situation where somebody else. Oh no, they said JSOC before they went, right? I was wondering if like
Yeah.
they were prepared to have like a bunch of AIs of whoever happened to scan their hand on the.
That
But no,
would
it was
be
way.
so
That would
much
be
work.
yeah, that'd be way too much work. Yeah. Oh yeah. All the specific stuff for him too. Okay. Okay. It was
Yeah.
definitely pre-planned. Okay. So this simulation, are they going to go into this warehouse every time?
I don't know.
Okay.
Some of the previews where they were like outside, so
Or yeah, definitely
I guess not.
a different site. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this simulation is an AI version of JSOC. If he like okay, if you had like if you made it like an amusement park, but the theme of the
Uh-huh.
park was JSOC.
Yeah. That's kind of what it is,
So
yeah.
all the mascots that are running around, they're all JSOC,
Mhm.
and all the announcements and speakers are JSOC's voice.
And he keeps saying over and over again, like, I didn't record anything for this. How does it sound like me? He was very concerned.
Well, he definitely knew, but he just wanted to make it clear, I think, for production's sake.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess they wanted to make it like the viewers realize that they actually used real AI. Like
Mm,
it's not just like a production JSOC
yeah.
recorded these things. Yeah, they wanted to be like, no, they because I mean, I believe they actually used real AI, right? You believe
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I think even at the end, they're like, they played a clip and they're like, yeah, he didn't record that. We took 3 minutes of him talking in one of the many, many shows he's been in, and we just ran it through, and now it talks like him.
Yeah. I mean, you could still have done production shenanigans for that, but I believe that they actually did that.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is JSOC World.
Hmm.
That's what we're calling this amusement park. JSOC amusement park.
Yep, yep. And it is full of U-bots.
Yeah. Oh, that's what they call them.
Yes, U-bots.
Okay. JSOC bots. Yeah. So a bunch of AI robots appear. They're actual people. It took me a while to realize they were all wearing like Mission Impossible style JSOC masks.
They're so creepy because like they have no eyes, right? Like it's just kind of dark where their eyes are, and
Yeah.
like
It's
their
like
faces don't really move, and it's just really unsettling.
yeah, it's like when they make the mask in Mission Impossible, but like they haven't like put it on their face yet. Or they kind of just look like bank robber masks, I guess you could
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
Mhm.
But it took me way too long to figure out that they were wearing these masks because like I was just like, there's some weird looking people they have out here. Because they're all like they're like different heights, different size
Mhm.
people, but they're all going to be like dancers in this next
Yeah.
segment.
Like they're first presented with this like virtual assistant that looks just like him, and then just out of nowhere all of these like robot versions of him come out and do a big dance number, and the AI is singing about grasshoppers because I guess that's his nickname or something referenced in his career somewhere along the
Well,
line. And
I looked up a video of him performing this grasshopper song.
oh,
I
okay.
don't know if it's a comedy song or if it's a children's song or
Mhm.
what. I don't know the context of it, but like I I was like this has to be related to him, so I looked it up and like there's yeah, he did this on a stage once. He did this song that they're playing, this exact song they're
Okay,
playing.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, and they're like, "Welcome to Grasshopper World." I thought this was
Yeah.
JSOC World. JSOC
It goes
World.
by many names,
Okay.
I guess.
Or maybe Grasshopper World is the name of the song. I
Oh,
don't know.
maybe. I don't know.
Um, but all the JSOCs that came out looking kind of scary at first just start dancing. This ridiculous dance
Mhm.
to this
Well, I mean, it
Grasshopper
is
song.
choreographed.
Oh yeah,
Like there are flips in it and stuff.
there you go. Okay, yeah, we're getting there. Okay, and then this is just chill. It starts off pretty chill. You know, they're on the clock, and I didn't really put together the one flaw of not watching the previous seasons. Like I did not realize what the goal was like the entire time. So they just are like, oh, I'm supposed to go in here and like not get killed or not, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. They didn't really get killed either, so I'm kind of or maybe they did.
I mean, they I guess they did.
They're gonna fail
Yeah.
at the end of this. I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
yeah. I
spoil it
think
now,
yeah.
which I like. I actually kind of like that they failed.
Feels more realistic that way.
Yeah. So, but like, it starts out and they're just like at an amusement park, hella casual, and they're like, "Oh, this is easy. We could just like play carnival games and eat popcorn." And they're like, the clock is ticking. You know, it's like we're winning the show right now.
And like I think the like AI assistant or somebody is like, this is supposed to be a to show the ideal future of humans and AIs living together, you know?
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I thought it was like the ideal future from the like JSOC's point of view. Like if everything was catered to JSOC, like
Well, it is also that because like there's a cafe in there and it only has like the kind of coffee he likes and the
yeah,
snacks he likes,
yeah,
and
you can only buy
there's
the
a
foods
gift
he likes.
shop and it's just his face on all of the merch and
Yeah,
it's all very much catered to him.
I like the improv of some of the U-bot actors where they like
Mhm.
he was like embarrassed by these like pillows they had in the gift shop,
Oh
but
yeah.
they were like the
The
scaly ones, so you
sequence
can like
kinds where you swipe and they change the picture. Yeah.
yeah, so he like swiped them so you couldn't see his face anymore, and then one of the one of the U-bots comes over and like fixes them, and he's like, they sell much faster when your face is yeah, they can see your face. He was on top of it. I like that moment. I like moments like that where it's
That
like
was good.
clearly this was not like something that was like planned, and this U-bot just clutched up. Said the funniest thing he could have done.
Well, my least favorite thing in this entire show was absolutely planned, and it is the moment that Boston Dynamics dog comes out with just his head on top of it, and it is an awful sight to behold.
I thought it was like yeah. At first, I didn't realize it had like four legs. I was like, oh, it's some sort of like Star Wars droid. But with JSOC's, they took one of the JSOC Mission Impossible masks and like stuck it on this
Yep,
droid.
one of those super Boston Dynamics can't knock over robots, and yeah, it's low
Oh,
key
that was a can't.
terrifying.
That was one of those can't knock over ones.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
It's
Well,
just the
I
dog version
I
of that.
assume that all the Boston Dynamics robots are ones you can't knock over because that's what they highlight
Oh,
in most of their videos. But
okay.
yeah, and this like particular version, the I think they call it the dog, like has been in like a Black Mirror episode of the future where like everybody's hunted down by these dogs. So like they just default these robots are creepy to me, and then it just has what looks like a severed person's head attached to it.
Yeah, it does.
It's not the greatest to look at.
Yeah, and then it comes over, and they're like the U-bots are like telling it stuff, and it's doing tricks, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then and then one of the contestants said like tries to give the dog a command, but it's not JSOC, and they're like, it will only listen to JSOC. And JSOC's just like, go away. And then it
Yeah,
just
he's just
turns.
like immediately like, fuck off, I can't deal with this. It's too weird.
Yeah. So Sarah, what would your if they made it if you were on this show
Uh,
and they made an
uh,
AI amusement park themed with you as the theme, what would be in this amusement park?
hopefully not me because it would be absolutely terrifying. But I mean,
I
it's
mean, it would be
probably
you. You would be in it.
yeah. But I mean,
For
the
sure.
actual me would be like clawing at the walls trying to get out. But I don't know. You know, plants, D&D, Monster X stuff. That's what would be in there. You know,
Oh yeah,
I
like a
don't.
virtual like a yeah, a VR Monster X concert. That should be crazy.
I mean, they do actually have K-pop like VR concerts, like in I think it's the SM Museum, like one of the like that's a thing in Korea, so that could very easily happen, and it would be great.
But would all like the Monster X members have like your face on them?
Oh, you ruined it. I hate it now. I don't want.
Because there's not like there's not like people or yeah people that JSOC is a fan of in this amusement park. There
Well,
are
yeah,
only
because he is the celebrity, so it's
yeah, but he has to have
yeah.
I don't know maybe
I guess it would just be the same thing. It would just be my face everywhere instead of his, and the creepy ass dog would have my weird severed head on top of it, and I guess the snacks at the cafe might be different.
that's what
That
I'm
would
saying.
probably
It's
be
gonna be
the only
different.
change.
Oh yeah, I guess like how much of it was actually catered to him. Yeah, I guess that's true. I was just thinking. Yeah, there'd definitely be plants.
Yeah,
And yeah,
plants, D&D. Yeah.
yeah, let's go. That'll be sick.
What's in your weird U park?
All the D&D monsters would have your face on them.
I can live with that. That's fine.
Okay, what would be in mine?
Hmm.
All the food would be vegan for sure.
Obviously, yeah.
Maybe a bunch of like Survivor challenges that you could
Ooh,
do,
there you go.
participate in, surviving
Mm-hmm.
puzzles. It'd be pretty sick, honestly. To be honest. Other than that, though, I don't know.
And just a bunch of robots with your face on it is the
Yeah,
main theme, I think.
I guess so. Yeah, but would be any crazy thing with my face? I guess it'd just be normal, like his actually. Yeah. Okay.
I think we'd both just be missing a big opening dance number because none of us have made
I
music.
know,
So
right? Well, no, you would have the Monster X
I guess that's
people
true.
with your face. Monster X people with your face. There you go.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. Okay, then they go to another room. Have they already got? There's this weird part where like they could only get in the back room. This is weird moments that
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what if they didn't do this? Okay, so there's a moment where it's like, oh, they're like, JSOC, nice to meet you. I'm also JSOC, and they're like, you can come to the VIP section of the amusement park, and then he walks to the back, and then the other three try to follow him, and then the U-bots like cut them off. They're like, you can only enter if JSOC says so. But what if JSOC was just like, nah, nah.
I mean, he knows what he's getting paid for, so like, yeah, he's gonna play along and invite them in, so it would
Okay,
progress.
all right. Would it have been easier to beat this if he had not let them in? I don't think so. I think it still would have gone crazy. There's still a big thing that I'm confused about that you need to help me with when we get to it.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
sure.
Eventually they get to a room that has a bunch of like famous paintings, like the Mona Lisa and the other ones, and then but they all are with JSOC's face instead of
Yeah,
whatever
that
the
was
normal.
pretty good. But then, like, in the middle of this, there is one of these U-bots who is also shirtless, but still has the mask on, right? And is like has a little video camera and is like filming himself in a mirror. Like, it is apparently referencing that something that Jasoc did like in his 20s when he was like thinking he was hot. And I don't know,
Oh,
like there is a reference there that I'm not getting, but it was also just like fake art, fake art, fake art, shirtless man for no reason, and then a lot of talk about J-Suck's nipples. I
yeah,
don't.
they're like
They're like,
famously saggy
I
or like
guess.
low on his chest, and he's famous for this. And is it because of
What a
this?
weird thing to be
Is it
famous
because
for.
of this like video he made of
It
him like
must
filming
be.
himself?
I guess.
Yeah, he's like weirdly famous for this, and it's gonna come up later.
Yeah, yeah. The nipple stuff comes back.
Okay. Yeah, they really did J Suck dirty in this whole process.
Yeah, they truly did. And then they go into like an area where it's like a projector, and they're like we're showing his movies here, and I was like, okay, maybe he's acted in some actual movies, but it's like famous scenes from Korean film, and then they've put his face on the main character or
Yeah, that was
whatever.
awesome. That would be fun. If there was your amusement park and now it's like it's like a
But
face reveal from
yeah,
behind like a brim tat. It's like, oh shit.
but like the whole
That's
way through,
Sarah.
like we're getting big reactions from the other three, being like, "Oh, gross, it's him," instead, like
Yeah, they're
being
doing
like
him dirty
real
too.
negative about everything.
This is my favorite movie and now it's ruined.
Yeah, yeah.
They're there to be
Big,
over dramatic.
kind of rude reaction.
But then everything goes wrong.
Yes.
Because Jace Sock in particular has been like mean to the U-bots too much.
No, I think it's not yet JSuck. It's the reactions from everybody else at this point.
Oh yeah, because they're like, ew, gross. He's shirtless,
Yeah.
and now he's ruined my movies. And the
And
U-bots are like, I hate you now, or like, what
yeah,
is?
they get deeply offended because A, I guess they think they are him, and B, I don't know, is he their god? He might be. But they're just really upset at how mean everybody has been about everything. And so now they're allowed to attack them because that's how code works. You insult it long enough and then robots come to kill you.
Yeah, I mean, if like their objective was to like make the world a better place, and these people are like being mean, it like kind of makes sense. I don't know if it was explained that way.
Well, they do. They like suddenly all the like they get alarms go off and whatever, and all the robots are now chasing them, and they get a message on their watch because each of them have a smartwatch that is very important to this whole thing. And the message is, Offensive remarks about the appearance of U-Bot have caused a shift in emotions. Thus, the rule prohibiting U-Bots from attacking humans has been broken. The U-Bots will now attempt to seize your watches. Make sure to survive in the AI zone. So basically, you were mean to robots. Robots are going to come and steal your watch, and maybe you're going to die because of that.
Oh, so their
Unclear.
watches told them that they were going to steal their watches.
Yes.
But like, why are they stealing their watches? That's what I'm confused
Because
about.
they've been
That's
insulted too much.
Why,
Because
like murder them? Like what? Why are we stealing their watches? I'm lost on this on the watch.
Because if the goal was to murder these contestants, the show would have been over in 15 minutes because they're not very good at staying away from.
I just feel like
robots.
there's an explanation about the watches. Like, are the watches like somehow tethering them to the real world outside
I
of the
think
VR
that
or
might be
something?
it. There's definitely an option to quit the situation in the watches, right? Like,
Oh, there is. You can just be like, I'm out.
Yeah, because I think when they first walk in, even Jae-suk's like, "This is embarrassing. I would like to leave," and like jokes that he's gonna push the button and be ejected from the simulation or whatever. So maybe like in the lore of this show, the watch is what tethers them to reality and is what allows them to get out.
So they can
I
like
don't know.
survive by just leaving the VR world, but then they fail the mission.
I think so.
Maybe I need to watch episode 2 to see like how like it feels so like they all. I mean, I guess they're never dying, right? Because they're in a virtual space. Is the idea?
I guess. Sure.
Yeah, this show loses me compared to like Agents of Mystery, where I feel like Agents of Mystery is like, okay, I understand the lore. I see what's going on here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you fail this, hell comes onto Earth and kills everybody. Very straightforward.
I feel like the consequences of failure were significant enough.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just a simulation, so there's no punishment. Or are they like? Is this like training? They're training these people, humans, for the future
to then be able to save humanity, because that's part of the lore somewhere.
They're gonna get a grade at the end of the season, and if they don't get high enough grades, then they're like kicked out of future problem school or whatever this is.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Is that what it is? Is that am I figuring this out?
Maybe. Feels like this is episode 1, season 1 info. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think leaving the simulation would have been as bad as failing and staying, right?
Yeah, it's like giving up. It's
okay. Yeah,
it's not escaping. It's yeah. I've agreed to fail this thing.
So what's the lesson here? Like, just like be nice to AI things.
Yeah. I mean, the lesson at the end, I think, is just AI is scary. I don't think they come to any conclusions about like
like if they were never mean to the U-bots, like if they were just
that's
like...
what is kind of funny to me is like production was like, these guys are gonna come and shit all over all of this. Like that is the plan. If they are nice and polite, who knows? Like we don't get to do anything. They just have a nice time with these robots.
They had to have had like a handful of reasons, right? That the robots would turn on them, right?
I think they were just really counting on like showing that man's nipples is like the whole crux of everything. They're like, we're going to get a big reaction out of this. Sure.
Okay.
Let's embarrass this man enough that his coworkers make fun of him and piss off some robots.
Okay.
Probably not the healthiest work environment.
These U-bots want the watches.
Yes.
Sure. We'll just say that we can just accept that, I guess. Also, but these U-bots, like, do you think this was real? They have like, I guess it was. Like they have like these shock gloves on where like if they touch them, it actually like shocks them a little bit.
I wondered, like they all have these matching vests on, and I was like, is it something in the vest? Like when they touch the vest, it shocks them, or I don't know.
I think it was the worst when they got like when they touched their skin, is what it seemed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, they just got shock gloves on, and they're just mildly electrocuting everyone.
Okay.
Yep.
At this point, maybe I wouldn't have blamed anybody for being like, nope, I'm actually good. I think I'll end this simulation right now.
I mean, I've learned my lesson. Don't be mean to robots. Got it. Good. Okay.
Okay. So they're running around. They're shocking them with gloves.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there are further rules. Is that they have to, like, in order to win, they all have to have their watches in their possession when the timer stops. And if at any time all of them lose their watches, then it's over.
But if they lose their watches, they have 30 minutes to go find them in a watch box.
Yes. In a watch box that is in a puzzle room or something. Yeah.
Non-specific containers that might have their watch in it after after they lose them.
Yes. Yes.
So the first person that gets caught is Yuri. They surround her in there's so many of these U-bots, by the way. Like
Yeah.
they could literally swarm whichever one of them they want at any time. But they like surround her in the movie theater. And then Yuri like she like sticks her wrist with the watch in between her thighs.
Mm-hmm.
And then these U-bots are like just digging. I thought this was so ridiculous. They're just like
She thought it
digging
would
into
stop,
her
but
thighs
nope.
to like get this watch on her
Mm-hmm.
wrist.
Yep. She's like, surely these robots will have the decency to not go after it here. Not true.
Yep. So Yuri got her watch taken.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
30 minutes on the clock. Otherwise, it will self-destruct, and that will end the simulation or make them. I guess would she like
Maybe she's disqualified then at that point. It's
just
unclear.
she would have been disqualified. That doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. They only lose. They
Right.
end up losing because everybody gets their watch taken.
Right.
Which I guess they didn't have time. If all of them got taken, like they weren't allowed to go get them back. I guess that was part of the rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
But during all this like chaos, when everybody's like going after her, whenever the bots catch up to Jae-suk, like they just shake his hand. They're like, "Oh, it's you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
You're me."
Yeah. And then they figure out like if they climb up this like jungle gym slide thing, whatever it is, the Jae-suk bots, the U-bots won't go after them because Jae-suk is afraid of heights.
Yes.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, that is exactly what happened. I love that
Okay.
they programmed a weakness into their robots.
But it didn't really help them because now that they were just stuck at the top of this slide, but that wasn't anywhere near any of the watch boxes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If they had not lost a watch, they could have just sat up there the whole time and it would have been fine. But
maybe.
well, that's
Probably
true.
not.
Later, magically, they get extra angry and are then able to handle heights. So it's just silly.
Yeah. Okay. So they find a room with boxes. I don't know how they knew. How did they know they needed to find these boxes? Did that come up on their watches?
Yeah, it was there was a bit that explained that the confiscated watches could be reclaimed and
Okay.
that they were going to be in boxes
I
or
saw.
something. Yeah.
I saw they like explain the rules to us, but I didn't see how they got this information.
Mm.
And I guess it was on the other people's
I-
watches.
I think it was on the watches. Yeah.
Yeah. So they enter this room that has I want to say six locked boxes on the floor.
Hmm.
And production just starts throwing these like various playground balls over the wall. And
Yeah.
these-
Yeah.
I think the balls had numbers on them. This is where the show started getting really
Really
poor,
chaotic.
really
Yeah.
poor production level to me was right here. I think the balls had numbers on them and they had to like find them and then somehow figure out which box they could open
Right.
and the combination to the lock. But Jin Young,
But I was like, the whole time, I was like, okay, they're combination locks. This is a whole world based on Jae-suk. Like, just put his birthday or significant dates or whatever to him.
But
That
you
like
actually thought about
obviously,
that?
yeah, I was like, obviously he is the solution to these, right? But
Oh,
we
that's
didn't really
funny.
get that far.
Well, we get to that
Yeah.
eventually. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but in this moment, it does not come up, even though there are balls with numbers being thrown all over the place.
Well, but these lock boxes are so garbage that Jin Young just rips one open.
Yeah.
And
And-
he's like, "Oh, I found the watch." And then that's the end of this room.
Yeah, and like so the room like closed, the door closed behind them, so they're safe from robots in here. So they immediately go to leave, and I'm like, just hang out in the ballroom and you're fine, right?
Yeah, I didn't really get that either. This is where the show loses me. It would make sense, like, oh, once you beat the room, the door opens or something. But
Yeah,
they had to do a very specific thing to get the door to open, which means they could have just not opened the door.
exactly.
But even when I was watching this, I was still under the assumption that like, oh, there was something they have to do besides just survive to beat this. But that
Right.
wasn't the case. Yeah, you're right. So why did they just
Well, it turns out they didn't find the watch. It's just Jae-suk watch flew off of his own wrist when he like
Jin Young,
Kool-Aid Man opened this like freaking box and yeah, so they didn't find anything in the box. It was just his watch
Jin Young found his own watch that he
that
had
had not
dropped.
been taken from him.
He
He just
dropped it in the
dropped it.
moment that he busted the box open, so he thought it came out of the box.
Yeah, it was very
But they
silly.
never come back to this room, and
No, they come back later.
they come back to the room, but they never come back to the room and actually solve the box proper.
Oh yeah, because he broke it.
Yeah, but that box didn't have a watch in it, so like the watch could have been in any of the other boxes.
Yeah, but I think once they saw him just absolutely destroy this box, they're like, let's not even bother using this room anymore. You know, production's like, there are other places. Yeah.
They never hid the watch there again. Okay.
Yeah. And so whenever they're trapped in a room, they have to use Jae-suk's biometrics in some way to get out of the room. So he figures out like there's a symbol of an eye up above the door, and he has to go put his eye up there so it can get scanned and they can leave.
Because to get into the building, they had to use his hand scan, which
Right.
had a hand symbol.
There's a couple times in the beginning they made him scan his hand, and that kind of brought that got that stuck in his brain.
Yeah. What's crazy is like it's just like a camera. It's just like a big eye icon.
Yeah.
With a camera in the middle. What's crazy is like they actually were like a few times they would say like, oh no, you didn't scan good. And like wouldn't let him out. So they actually wanted to like have camera footage of his eye to like show us the viewers that he actually put his eye directly in the middle of this. And if he didn't do it, they would be like
try again.
Biometric scan failed. It's so weird. Okay. Yeah, then they get out of the room and they were like, oh wait, we're still missing a watch. What just happened? And then they get attacked more and have to find another. It's like every time they find a room, like a special room, they're left alone. They're left alone. Yeah. And it's like a little escape room that may. And then the moment they get out, then it's yeah. It might not even have a watch in it.
Right.
Like there's like a bunch of rooms that could be a hiding place for the watches, and you could just be in the wrong one.
Yeah.
Like you're solving the room, but there's no watch at the end of the puzzle.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, then the U-bots just straight up tackled Donghyun.
Yeah.
They're like,
we
are taking
like
this
all of the
watch.
pile. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm kind of like I'm a little confused about like the difficulty level that production wanted this to be. Like,
well, I think later he points out that like one of the bots also had the like boxer ears, so they're like, they put a real fighter guy in here. Like, you can't give me shit for being overwhelmed by how many of them there were, and at least one of them was skilled.
Yeah, and he's getting shock gloved, and like whatever these shock gloves are doing, like Donghyun is actually claiming like, oh my god, like my arm is like hurting. Like he's like
reacting the most to the shocking.
Yeah, maybe because he has the most muscles. He's getting
affected
the most. I don't know. Yeah, he's not enjoying the shock gloves aspect of this at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, then there's like a maze. We can just go through what all these.
Yeah.
From here on, it's just like kind of the same stuff, but let's just highlight the ridiculousness of all these different rooms.
Yeah. So there's a room full of hanging water bottles that they could just pop, but partway through the sprinklers turn on. Yeah. And then they just get wet. It's it.
Pop the water balloons. That's the entire challenge.
And Yuri's watch pops out of one of the balloons. So huzzah. But like the real challenge of this room was there was the eye symbol was in the bottom of like a fish tank. And so they had to lift Jae-suk up like he was doing a keg stand or something and shove his face underwater to scan his eye to get out of the room.
Yeah, this whole episode, at least this episode of the show, is just like a really bad prank.
Yeah. Right? It is like, room after room of Donghyun and Dex having to pick Jae-suk up and manipulate him in some way to open a door, basically.
Yeah. And it's not really... There wasn't any like thing specific that like Yuri could only do.
Yeah.
They needed her like pull a slot machine that was on the ceiling. This is so weird. Mm-hmm. The things you have to say when explaining the show. Yeah, like, but like to me, it's like, how do they even know that like the watch would be in the water balloons? Like that would not have been a thought. I would have been like, oh, don't walk under there; they'll drop the water balloons on you. and I wish I've never gone near that. Why
Yeah.
to think that like, oh, this is one of the these balloons are one of the watch boxes. That didn't make any sense to me at all.
Yeah. I
At least with how
that
the
that would
English was translated. But yeah.
yeah. It is unclear. And like everything just kind of strings together in a chaotic fashion where I don't know, maybe they were been like, here, go in this room now, go pop some like there's rooms for cuts where it could be like them just telling them what to do, but it's just edited together with a bunch of them running around and going, "Oh no, robots."
Okay. So you're at the end of this though, this show gave you enough that you're like, oh yeah, I'll check out the next episode. Did it
I
actually do
mean,
that?
I think like this particular scenario is like the weirdest to watch play out because it is just a lot of them getting dogpiled by guys with shock gloves, which is weird. Maybe the next episode will be it'll probably be chaotic as well, but I think just the not presence of a bunch of guys to mob them will be an improvement, you know?
Maybe it's just a weird because like JSOC is the solution to every escape room.
Yeah.
And maybe they do better with like having more fun puzzles, but I don't know. I just don't have high like knowing that a show like Agents of Mystery exists. I just like do
Mhm.
not have high hopes for the show after seeing one episode.
Yeah, yeah. I would rather watch Agents of Mystery
And
than this.
I still have to go watch the second mystery in Agent of Mystery, so I'd much rather do that. I think I'll definitely get around to
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
that before watching more of this.
But I think like the next episode will benefit from being able to be more varied because everything won't have to be so JSOC centric, you know.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Yeah, the moment where the AI like turns the sprinklers on them, and then it was just like, oh, they're wet now, and it
Yeah, it's
didn't.
not even like, oh no, the room is filling up with water. It's just, oh,
Yeah,
they're wet now.
it's like, oh, gotcha, pranked you. You're wet now. And I wrote in my notes, is it me or does none of this make sense?
It is just a lot of chaos strung together.
I understand the show more after talking about it than I did in the moment that at this like halfway point of the TV show or whatever this is. Okay. Yeah, they dunk JSOC into water so he
Mhm.
can do a retina scan underwater.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Of
This
course.
is where he first fails and they're like this is like
Do it again.
it's so mean. It's like, okay, guys, okay, production. Dunked my head. I get you're essentially giving yourself like a swirly or whatever
Yeah,
without the
yeah.
flood.
Uh-huh.
Like, look, we did it. They picked me up. They dunked my head in this water. We're good, right? Nope, we didn't see your eye on the retina scan. Do it again.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Now realizing how mean all of this is, I'm actually even more out on this show.
Yeah, it is pretty
This
mean.
is
But
kind of
again, I
messed
feel
up.
like that might be
Maybe it's just a
some
bad
of the
episode. It
meanness
could be a
is
bad episode.
definitely thematic, right? Yeah.
I don't know why the U-bots would have designed these like rooms to prank JSOC, but it kind of makes sense. Like, oh, if they were mean to him, they were mean back to him. But it doesn't really make sense, like because the simulation existed before they started being mean to the U-bots.
Yeah, I think it's just like they got started on making this thing that it was all him, and then they got really stuck in like, well, wouldn't it be funny if we brought up this thing about his past, or what if this was it? Like it just like snowballed into just let's be mean to this guy, you know?
Yeah,
And I think if you start from not that theme for the episode, maybe it's not so mean. But there is, I don't know, there's definitely room for it to be just essentially production doing pranks for an hour on these
yeah.
guys, you know?
I mean, this guy is a comedian, but it feels a little too far. Because then we're
Yeah.
gonna get to this room. There's a room that's like filled with like uh pictures and like
Stuff from his
memorabilia from.
career, yeah.
Oh, it's his career. I thought it was like other seasons of the Zone stuff. Maybe that was just part
No,
of it.
some of the like outfits were for other shows he's hosted on.
Oh, okay. But instead of having a retina scanner in this room,
It's a nipple scanner. Yeah.
and he legitimately seemed like he was like, "Nah, I'm not doing this."
Yeah.
like, like he has to like have
Because again, it's
Dong
above the
Hyun,
door.
yeah,
So
Dong
he
Hyun
has to
and
have the two guys lift him up.
yeah, and then he does it, but he didn't like he just put his chest up to it, and they were like, "Nope, biometric scan failed."
Like you gotta lift your shirt for
And you're
this.
like,
And
no, like we need to see your nipples on the camera, or it's not going to work.
And he's just like, I guess we die in this room then. Okay. And it takes a while for them to like bully him into doing this, basically.
Yeah, and then I don't know like if this was on his request or the show was being mean here.
Mean
Like I
again.
mean
Yeah.
again, but like when he lifts up his shirt to do the scan, they like blur out his chest, his entire torso.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like he purposely like didn't take the shirt off. Like he just lifted it up when they lifted him up in order to hide and not show off his chest,
Yeah, but
right?
they
So
still blurred it.
yeah, I think that was at his
You think?
request, or at
Oh, you think
least
that was
to
at his
like,
request? I feel like it made
yeah, I
it
think,
worse.
well, it might have made it worse, but I think like either it was at his request or they thought they were doing the decent thing by like, oh, he doesn't want to show it, so we'll make sure no one can see anything.
Okay.
But in the context of everyone shitting on the weird placement of his nipples or whatever the joke is, it does make it seem extra body shamey.
Yeah.
And it is weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Because earlier when they had the U-bot with no shirt on, that wasn't blurred.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That was just a guy, shirtless guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we watched.
Yeah, this is what we watched.
Then there's the upside down room where his feet now are the biometric scan, but they're on everything's on the ceiling. So again, he has to be lifted up by the two other guys, held upside down, and then his feet have to hit like the right sequence of colors based on whatever comes up on this slot machine. And they have
in
to
a
do it
very short amount of time. Like it's 15 seconds.
They have 15 seconds to hit like 4 of these things on the ceiling, which is like I don't even believe that they did this in 15 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think they did it in that time at all.
That's how hard it looked. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, but we find out like apparently they lost this barcode scanner that they got out of a claw machine when they were just chilling in the beginning.
And it disables bots for like 5 minutes. And
yeah,
so
you can scan this thing on their chest and then they like aren't allowed to move. That would have been useful.
Yeah, it would have, but they lost it basically immediately.
Yeah, when Donghyun was getting shock gloved while trying to run down some bleachers with a bunch of the
he dropped it. Yeah,
he's just like get me the hell out of here and dropped everything he had.
Yeah, and like nobody recognized when it got lost, so there was never any hope of finding it if the robots even left it there, so it's just gone.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. They somehow do this in 15 seconds. I don't know if they did. Then there's a tiny little door opens for them.
Yeah, so that didn't even like open a useful thing.
Yeah.
It opened another room.
This was like Agents of Mystery style. It's like, oh, it's a room connected to.
Yeah, and then there was a like box in here for a watch, but no watch in the box. So they did all this bullshit for nothing.
In the second room, there was no watch either.
Yeah, there wasn't a watch there. There was space for a watch, but there wasn't a watch there yet.
Yeah, and then the biometric scanner in this room is
his teeth, but it was a question mark.
It was unknown, and then Donghyun is like, what other like flaws or
like what's weird about your body that these people might want to scan is basically what he asked.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh yeah, your teeth, and then he like it just works. They just guessed it. It was do you think there was something in the room that was supposed to clue them in, or they literally just had to guess body parts until they got teeth?
I think they were supposed to just guess body parts until they got teeth.
Oh my god, that's so messed up.
Or until he did something funny enough where they're like, okay, we'll unlock it now.
Is Jae-suk in on this joke? Are we just misinformed and he's totally in like this
I sure hope he's okay with it.
It's the crux of his entire comedic career around his nipples and his teeth and his grasshopper song and maybe we're misinformed.
I can't say I've watched a lot of shows that he's hosted on, but I've like definitely seen them here or there, and I do not recall definitely don't recall anything about his nipples.
Yeah. Well, do you think Jae-suk's gonna agree to do season 4 of the show?
I don't know. It depends on how big the paycheck is, I guess. I don't know.
He
clearly has other options.
I feel like he could be doing better things.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do him a solid in the next 5 episodes. Really?
Maybe.
I don't know.
We'll see.
All right. Oh yeah. Then they go to this room that's like essentially like a gym. And the biometric scanner just has the number 150 on it, and the UFC fighter quickly is like, "Oh, we have to get your heart rate over 150."
Yeah.
So they just make him run on a treadmill until his heart rate gets over 150 beats per
I mean,
minute.
at least nobody picked him up this time, but like, yeah, nobody else is
Yeah, that
doing
was like
anything to help. It's just
the
he's
least
got to
offensive
run.
room.
Yeah.
Easily the least offensive room,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just
Yeah.
yeah. Now, I mean, it did force him assuming he's not known for his athletic ability, and we had to watch him. I'm sure he wasn't happy
I mean,
about
he did
having to
not
run
seem
on
like
this
he was.
treadmill.
He didn't seem like he was struggling or like people were making fun of him for it or anything. He just had to do it, you
Yeah,
know.
I'm sure he wasn't happy
So
about it.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it works. They're out.
Mm-hmm. And this, they actually do get a watch back. So
Oh, okay,
in this
nice.
room.
Yeah, but then apparently the rage of the U-bots is not at its maximum yet, and now it's going to be.
Yeah, now they're mad at him because he has been telling them to stop and like back off and like, hey, these are my friends, don't attack them. And in some cases it has worked. And I don't know. They paint this as a reason why the bots are extra mad now.
Okay. Then these bots just go crazy. Like
Yeah.
I don't even see how they could have won this. There's
Yeah,
so many.
exactly.
I mean, they do have the little. I guess they had the barcode scanner thing,
They did get that back at some point, yeah.
but oh they find the production puts the barcode scanner so they can get it back. But they let it work for a little while, where like the barcode scan they let them like scan them one by one when they're getting swarmed. But then
Mm-hmm.
eventually, like there's so many of these U bots that
Yeah.
they could do whatever they want.
And they are
And
now actively going after JSOC too. So
yeah,
like there's nobody who's quote unquote safe.
they go hard after Jae-suk, Jin Young, and Donghyun.
Mm-hmm.
They they give Yuri a pass for a while, but then I think she does get hers taken when she's like the last
Yeah,
one
yeah, she's
left.
the last one.
They aren't tackling Yuri to the ground like they are the other guys.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the benefit is
Yeah.
once you lose your watch, you no longer get attacked. So there's that at least. But like,
The one thing I'm wondering about the show only is like, okay, is there actually something like big brain thing they could have done that would have actually made this doable? Because from what we saw, it just seemed impossible. Like at some point, it just seemed like this would happen no matter what. That
yeah,
the bots like got really angry, and then maybe the actors were just too aggressive. Like I don't know. Like it just didn't seem possible.
yeah. Like it would have been like if they had not lost the gun, and then like the moment they got all the watches back, didn't leave that room that they got the last watch in. But I don't know if they ever got to that state, you know, where they didn't have more watches missing that they had to leave rooms to keep going to find, you know,
Yeah, but there's no way like production wanted them to like find four watches and then just
and
stay in
just
the
hole
safety of.
up. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yeah. There's no way that that would have been it. So I don't know. I don't really understand. Like maybe this is just what happens on this show when they don't find the solution. But maybe there
Yeah,
was some big brain solution.
maybe.
But I feel like if there
Maybe it was
was, I
go and
wish.
apologize to the bots and or
Yeah,
something
what
or
if they were just nice to them? Would
yeah.
they have won if they were just decided to be nice to them?
Yeah, like literally the power of friendship might have solved this all. Like there is a shot where Yuri, Dex, and Donghyun are on top of the climbing hill and they're just watching as like a sea of these bots attack Jaesuk in a ball
Yeah,
pit.
yeah,
And it's like I feel no sense of camaraderie between these guys at all
yeah,
during this entire experience because either they're making fun of him the whole time or just not helping each other most of the time in the show. And maybe if that had been different, the whole episode would have been different, you
yeah.
know?
The only time I can think of like they where they actually helped each other was when like Yuri was surrounded in the beginning and the UFC guy like ran up the bleachers and
Yeah.
distracted them so that she could get away. But then she just got caught anyway somewhere else. But that's like
Yeah.
the only thing I can think of where they actually kind of worked together.
Somebody was
Like
looking out for somebody else, yeah.
the rest of the working together was just lifting J-Sock. The other guys
Mm-hmm.
lifting J-Sock.
Because
Yeah, I
and
don't
they
know why.
had like no alternatives for that, you know, like
Yeah.
that had to be what happened.
Maybe I'll just maybe I'll casually watch one more episode of this and like not worry about overanalyzing it and see if I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It is different like watching a show for the podcast versus
Oh yeah, definitely.
watching a show just like I could maybe just watch the show in secret and then never talk about it with anybody. That's kind of the way to do it.
Yeah. Don't think about it too much.
Maybe this
Yeah.
isn't a show you want to talk about.
Yeah. It's everybody's secret shame.
Now, I do feel like this show would be fun if it had like the right four celebrities that I was
Yeah.
wanted to see. And I don't know who they would be, but like
I don't know who that is either.
like if Sang Min was on the show, I'd probably like it
Oh.
more.
Is this his vibe though? Would he ever agree to be
I
on this show?
I don't think so.
I don't see him being tackled and electrocuted by a
Yeah.
bunch of fake robots.
Yeah. They're even like there's just like other characters from other Korean reality shows that I like maybe just seeing them on the show would be fun and make the show more fun.
Yeah.
But it only being Jin Young that I'm familiar with and like kind of the UFC guy isn't like enough for me to just like enjoy watching this person that I'm a fan of because I'm not a fan of them. But like
Yeah,
if,
yeah, exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't know, like maybe if you were just a big fan of one or two of these people, it would just make it would be funnier to watch it, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Or just if it felt like they gave a shit about each other, you know? Like I don't need to like be a big fan of them, but if I can get a sense of like, oh, there's a camaraderie here, they're having fun together. Yeah, I could like you put a K-pop band in this, right? Like where they at least pretend to like each
Oh
other.
yeah, that would be good.
That would be a
actually.
totally different vibe.
Yeah. They'd have to design it differently. Like they can only design this because they like brought the UFC guy in. They're like, okay, he can lift Jason. He can lift Jason.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Jin Young's probably pretty strong too. Oh yeah, like if they got like members of Twice to do this, it would probably probably be funny to watch for me. But I would still be like why are they picking on whoever they decided to pick on?
Well, I feel
For
like
this
it would
AI thing, you know?
there would be like you wouldn't feel as though they were getting as picked on by their team, like production's picking on them, but like their teammates wouldn't be picking on them as much. It would feel more like in good fun, in like their friends, or at least pretend to be friends publicly, in a way where it doesn't feel as bad. You know, it feels like a gentle ribbing rather than a just we're kind of coworkers. This is the first episode we're shooting together. Let's make fun of your nipples. Okay, you know, like it's. I just feel like the vibe would be different.
Yeah. I feel like Jason and Yuri probably have that familiarity with each other, but it didn't it didn't seem like Jin Young and Dongyun were approaching
In
it
on it in that
this,
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah. All right. Whatever. They have to they like lose their watches, get them back. They have to go then the show started going back to rooms that they already did before.
Yeah.
That got very messy from a production perspective to me.
Yep.
So it really just kind of went off the rails until finally
They just all got caught.
well,
Yeah.
Jin Young has to climb a cargo net.
Like a net. Yeah.
That's another room that happened. But it literally that was it. It was just like climb a cargo net. Oh, I got my watch back. That's all it was. Yeah, the U-bots just straight up steal the barcode gun. Like they actually start targeting the barcode gun. And that's what I wonder. Like it feels like there was something like production had some sort of preset rules that they were gonna follow, and if like they overused the gun, then they were gonna like take it. I don't know. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit, but I feel like I want to know what the solution was.
Yeah, it feels like they didn't like balance it well, and like we're trying to compensate on the fly or something. It wasn't great.
Yeah, I wrote this show is total chaos. But then I guess they did say the world was in chaos still after the pandemic.
That's true.
Was that like? Is that like a like? This is the other thing I was wondering. Like, are they participating? I mean, is this supposed to be the future, or it's just a simulation if you were to use AI like this in the real world?
It's a simulation of
what is possible now.
No, I think it's the future because we don't. I guess
I think it's all possible.
It could be now. Yeah, yeah.
It's like, you could do this if you wanted to. Because they talk about being in the new normal. So when they're saying the world is still in chaos, like is it actually like a statement about the current like the state of the world as we know it?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. It's also just like super weird for this super silly show to get really serious about certain things at times.
Yeah, so like they all like lose, right? And they come back out to this podium to talk to the little hammer or whatever AI gives them their lesson at the end of the day. And they just get kind of lectured about AI, how it's, people are scared they're going to lose their jobs, and also like you can just deep fake anything and it's, not a great time.
Yeah, they do a segment on the pros and cons of AI technology.
I don't know that they go into any prose. I think it is all just like what prose did they go into? I don't remember.
I think they generally just said like, "Oh, you can do a lot of cool stuff with it" or something. But Jin Young did discover that one of the watches was in the in the claw machine that they originally got the barcode scanner out.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But then he couldn't. I forget if he just couldn't get it with the claw. But then there was like a lock on it, which was Jae-suk's birthday, and it opened. But he was
Yeah.
like too late. That was like the one piece of drama they made. They
Yeah, they at
artificially
least
made it
edited
was
it
like,
to make it look like, oh, will he get it on before Yuri loses hers? Because she was getting dogpiled on at the same time. And yeah.
all right, well they lost. That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Like would the agent was it possible for the Agents of Mystery like show to be this chaotic? It's just like, oh, they were able to figure it out.
No, I think that was just too that was better orchestrated, better planned. Like
Okay.
I don't think it was ever gonna be
Because the Agents
like
of
this.
Mystery is supposed to be like, oh, this is real supernatural nonsense that's happening.
Uh-huh.
It's not a simulation, but this is like a simulation. So I guess simulations can just go crazy, and that's I guess
Yeah,
what
you don't get the
happened.
settings right, everything goes off the rips.
Okay, all right, and then the credits roll, and our four contestants are doing like a dance. I watched the whole
Yeah.
thing. That was like one of my favorite parts of the show
It was
when the cast was just dancing to music to the credits. That was great.
yeah, it was an interesting time. Yeah, absolutely. That none of this show was what I really truly expected, but here we are. Okay.
I mean, it was like kind of. I mean, we thought it was going to be like Agents of Mystery, right? To
Yeah.
some degree. And it was. It's just like a different attempt at the same thing.
I did think it was going to be better than it was. So,
Well, yeah. I mean, I thought since we had only watched Agents of Mystery, I was like, oh yeah, there'll probably be some like fun puzzles to solve. There was
yeah,
like
yeah.
it was nothing that you could like do at home. Like if like be like, okay, I
Mhm.
see. I think I know what they have to do. It was yeah, there was not a moment like that. So it was just watching Jae-suk get bullied by production and
Uh-huh. And like flung around by these two other guys. Yeah.
a
That's
bunch
pretty
of
much it.
nonsense. Yeah. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, that was
And then
episode 1.
tackled. Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. All right. You think they're gonna be the Zone fans that are gonna hate on
Maybe.
us for this?
That's okay.
If there's like some context that I'm missing, I would love to know.
Oh yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
feel like there really is.
I feel like there might be like episode 1, season 1 might explain the whole thing. Like what the simulations are for, what we're supposed to be learning or saving, or what that might be explained there.
Yeah, it could better explain the like simulation zone and
Yeah.
what that is. But I think I'm caught up in the like, oh, there was a pandemic, but it's over, and now we're just doing other non-pandemic related things.
Yeah, I
I
guess.
think I get that. That's
Sure.
okay. I know if we failed, it's fine. I still, I'm so glad I watched it. It's just I'm not raring to go watch the next episodes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, wow. Yeah. We didn't talk about in our last episode we didn't talk about the comments from last episode, but we talked about One Piece, the One Piece live action, and we
Yes,
definitely
yes.
got some gatekeeping comments on the One Piece live our take on One Piece.
Well, I definitely feel, yeah, some people were not feeling the vibe of me as a non-anime, non-One Piece person talking about it and explaining it to you, the One Piece person.
Oh, you think that's what it was? I saw more stuff about like, oh, I thought it was even more than just your take on it. It was just like I wasn't enough of a fan of it to be talking about it. That's what I thought.
Oh, is that what you got from it? Okay.
I mean, it was definitely a mix of both.
Yeah.
Well, at first I was like, man, people really want to gatekeep because like the thing is, I enjoyed it. I love the One Piece live action, and I'm not blasting to the anime, but I enjoy it when I watch it.
And yeah, I
But it's
even
like
liked it.
I didn't
It was
enjoy it.
just
I felt
also
like
deeply silly.
I feel like people did. Some people are about certain things. Are like if you don't enjoy it the same way that they enjoy it, then you're like doing it wrong. That's what I felt like.
Yeah.
Some people were saying.
Or, sometimes a piece of media is like somebody's favorite thing ever, and then listening to people sort of not take it seriously or be very silly about it can rub people the wrong way sometimes, I
Yeah.
guess.
So if you feel that way about the Zone, let us know. I want to know.
The Zone doesn't feel like it would be that
Oh,
for anyone,
oh,
but
there Sarah
maybe I'm
goes
wrong.
again. There Sarah goes again. Insulting the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough.
What media do you gatekeep, Sarah?
What do I mean, I try not to.
Oh, I did think it was. Did think the gatekeeping was deserved because you literally gatekeeped Luffy from being a pirate
I
in that
guess
episode.
that's true.
So I
It's
think.
just not.
Well, I think you deserved it. I don't know if I deserved it, but you deserved it a little bit.
All right. I mean, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't
Yeah.
gatekeep. Do you gatekeep any?
I don't know. I don't think I do, but I might.
You tried to gatekeep me a little bit when I was playing.
Oh.
What's the
When you
name
were
of the
playing
game?
Baldur's Gate, I was like,
Baldur's.
"You're doing it wrong. Go back and get Astarion. You can't leave him on the side of the road. He's the best."
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know.
there we go. That's what I gatekeep. If you're gonna
Yeah.
play Baldur's Gate, you have to take Astarion with you.
Well, yeah. Well, I had never. I was playing Baldur's Gate 3. I never played any of the other Baldur's Gates.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
I'm
same.
just
I haven't
going into
played
the
the other ones
game. I'm
either.
going to the game, having a good time. I'm just like
Mm-hmm.
playing it out how I would. And then
Yeah.
this very creepy like vampire dude attacks me and then isn't very nice. And I'm like, I'm gonna leave you here. Seemed very reasonable to me, but Sarah was up in arms about it.
Hey, I was a solid 20 hours ahead of that game in you, and I was in a deep relationship with this broken boy, and he was the best part of the game, and you're like, no, I'm not even taking him with. And I'm like, what is wrong with you?
He was awful to me. Why would I want him around me? Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah.
I played
Okay,
it
so
right.
that's what I gatekeep. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt good about that decision.
Okay.
Um,
Still think you missed out, but sure. You do you, I
um,
guess.
oh my god, we didn't even talk about what we were going to talk about next time on the show.
Yeah, we usually talk about that before we record, yeah.
I saw
Wait, no,
something.
you had we talked we were gonna
Oh yeah, I did
watch
have
that show.
something here. My first idea was I'm pulling it up right now. The Magic Prank Show. Oh, speaking of pranks. This might also be mean. I watched the first episode of this,
Mm-hmm.
but at least in the first episode, I think Sarah will agree that maybe these people deserved it. And also,
Okay.
like, it's not as bad as what happened to JSOC, I don't think. I've only watched episode 1 of this, which also is AI themed, by the way. Maybe we have to watch
Popular
this
theme
now.
these days.
Maybe we have.
Yeah.
It's too connected.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
the Magic Prank Show is like this. I think he's like a street magician,
Okay.
and he does tricks. He's had other. Oh, he has another show called it's his name is Justin Willman. He also has a show called Magic for Humans, which I have not watched, but I think he does like his more of his like street magic in that. But in this prank show, the Magic Prank Show that he does, it's like he
Mm-hmm.
combines his like street magic with like pranking people. Like he asks he asks people that have been like pranked by their like siblings or like whoever, and he wants to like help
Mm-hmm.
them get back at them.
Oh, okay.
But then
Okay.
he shows the behind the scenes of like how they are setting up these pranks. But then like some magic stuff kind of happens throughout the pranks, which like is not explained to you, which I guess is probably some of his like tricks that he normally does.
Okay.
Like solving in a Rubik's Cube. Like or like somebody shuffles in a Rubik's Cube and he's able to like shuffle it the exact same way while
Oh.
he shuffles another Rubik's Cube like the exact same way. I don't know, like stuff like that I'm assuming are like his normal tricks. He combines them with these pranks to like sell the pranks even more.
Interesting. Okay.
The other one I saw, if we want to stay in the Korean reality show realm,
Mm-hmm.
was this like it's like a social media game. Did you see this?
Wait, didn't we talk about this one offline and it looked like it was gonna be really depressing?
Oh,
Is
you
this
thought
the
it was
one on
gonna be
Netflix?
depressing?
Like it was gonna be one of
The
those things that was gonna
influencer. The
Yeah.
influencer. Yeah, the influencer. I felt like watching the trailer, I didn't feel like I was gonna like it, but then I don't know. It just seemed like I think it's in the process. Like I think it just came out.
Okay.
The last 3 episodes come out on August 13th, so it's just like a current show. That's the only reason I'm talking about it is because it's current. But I think the Magic Prank Show also came out recently.
Okay.
Let's do the Magic Prank Show. Why not?
Yeah, yeah.
I
Okay.
think it'll be something.
Okay. Sure.
And we probably have to do 1 episode of that. Doing 1 episode makes it so we don't have to record as long, and maybe we can do
Get
episodes
out a
more
little quicker,
frequently.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm down to do the influencer too. I don't fully get how the show works, but I kind of
Yeah.
get it.
Okay. If you feel
But I
like we
don't
got
really
it,
get
because
it.
I watched the trailer and I felt like it was gonna be bad, like it was gonna make me mad about things. But maybe it won't. We'll see. You know,
Okay. Maybe we'll learn. Maybe we'll learn something on the influencer.
maybe.
All right, let's do the magic prank show.
Okay, sounds good.
See how we feel about these pranks compared to
Hopefully, they are
the zone.
lighthearted pranks and nobody's nipples are involved.
Okay. Okay.
I don't like the way you said okay to that. I'm now concerned
Hmm.
for nipples.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're. I've already watched it, so I'm ready to go.
All
Honestly.
right, all right.
All right. Anything else? A magic prank show with Justin Willman is what we'll talk about next time.
Sounds
Anything else,
good.
Sarah?
No,
All
I
right.
think that's it.
Where can people contact us?
People can email us at keepwatchingpod@gmail.com or tweet at us at keepwatchingpod. Instagram at us also at keepwatchingpod, or you can leave a comment under the video on YouTube, again at keepwatchingpod. And if you want to tell us who you'd like to see on this show that would have made it not feel bad, or if it didn't make you feel bad, I guess, you can leave us a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Who do you want to see on the show, Sarah?
I mean, I will watch Monster X in anything. So, if you were going to put them on there, I think they would actually help each other and it would not feel bad.
Okay. I was thinking of like anybody, like even like American celebrities.
I find that I don't care about many American celebrities. So
even if it's like famous like Survivor contestants, I don't think it's like it's still not like an activity that I would enjoy watching them do. It's like it's not in the same category.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess Monster X must do like variety show type of.
Oh yeah, they do their own. They go on variety shows and then they kind of produce their own variety shows too. So.
Yeah, what if because they could have made this like AI simulation like very specific to the knowledge of the like fans of Monster X or something.
Oh yeah, they've had like escape room type things where it's like the answers are like their debut day or like very inside Monster X stuff. Yeah. Also, you want to talk about a low budget version of Agents of Mystery. Monster X basically did one of those.
Okay.
But it was much lower budget.
Can you objectively say if it was better or worse than the Zone?
I mean, I can never. Oh, okay, the Zone. It was better than the Zone, obviously.
Objectively?
Objectively better than the Zone.
Okay.
Easy.
All right. Easy. Okay.
Didn't have the best time with the Zone. It was a little bit of a bummer. But I kind of think maybe a different episode. Well, I just think a different episode might be better. And I just feel like we spent a lot of time making fun of one guy.
All right. You watch another episode and give us an update in the next podcast.
Yeah, we'll see if I get to it.
Yeah, that's your homework. All right. And watch the other show we're going to talk about too.
Okay.
You don't have to take notes. It's easy. Just sit there.
That's true. It is always better when I don't have to take notes.
See if it's a little better than the first one we watched.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Is that it?
I think that's it.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.
Bye.